Hi, I'm Lauren Karasek. Thanks for joining us for our continuing series on how to tweet for corporate and issue-based clients. Hopefully you joined us for our first two screencasts, how to tweet and how to read Twitter, and you're all caught up on the basics and ready to talk about some slightly more advanced techniques in Twitter best practices. I'm not even going to pretend that we're keeping this to 5 minutes, so we'll call it like it is. This is Twitter Best Practices Part 1. Let's get to it. We're starting out here on my homepage, but we're not going to stay here for long. One of the first most important things that you can do when you're starting to engage in Twitter is to prove that you're a real person, believe it or not. The platform has a lot of spam, it has a lot of automated accounts, and it actually has a lot of inactive accounts, more than most other social media platforms. So it is important to prove that you are an active, real person who's interested in using the medium. If we come up here, we're going to navigate over to our settings page, and you're going to see that you have the opportunity to create a profile. Now, first and foremost, a picture is actually very, very important. A lot of inactive profiles and a lot of the spam and automated profiles just go ahead and leave their profile picture as the Twitter logo. This is one of the quickest ways that people can distinguish a fake account or an inactive account and go ahead and skip over it. In fact, a lot of Twitter marketing software will let you automatically skip accounts that do not have a profile picture. So it is important to upload your own picture, be it your company logo or a symbol of your issue advocacy organization or your own personal picture. You do want to go ahead and put in your real name so that people can search for you not only by your Twitter handle but also by your actual name or your organization's name. Location isn't necessary, but it is nice for people to know who's in their community and who they can interact with. For example, if someone were looking for a social media expert in Washington, D.C., I would want them to be able to search me by my location. We're going to talk more in the next part on best practices and also in gaining influence about making sure that you integrate with your website. But the one thing I will say is it's important to take your Twitter followers and to bring them over to your corporate website, your personal website, or your issue-based website so that they can get more information and interact more with you or your organization. And last, again on the note of proving that you're a real person, you have 160 characters to create a biography. And this is a place where you can talk about your personal likes and dislikes, your corporate or issue-based background, and then what kind of tweets and what kind of information people are likely to see from you. Now, this background that you're seeing right here is the standard Twitter background. If you move over to design, eventually, you have the opportunity to move away from that. You can see that I have my glasses here. Now, there are a couple themes that Twitter provides. And these are useful, anything but this upper left-hand corner one, which is the default. Changing it around shows that you have actually come into the medium and engaged and changed things and filled out a profile and are a real person. And then you'll see down here that they're also pointing you to one of the add-ins. This is an independent company, but it works with Twitter, called Themelian. This is actually where I got my cute little glasses theme. And Themelian's going to let you navigate through, change the colors, change your background, change the pictures, and you just log in here with your Twitter account. So that's a good thing to do to prove that you're an advanced user. So that's all the things you can do as far as setting up your profile, and we'll see when we get back to my homepage that those things get displayed both in the background, you can see my glasses, and here's the picture and things like that. So those things get displayed there. But when it comes to tweeting itself, you also want to prove that you're a real person here, and you want to be personable. You don't always need to feel like you have to talk corporate all the time, and you don't want to feel like you're confined to only, hey, I placed this op-ed, or hey, I got this blog post. In fact, social media really values authenticity, and so you don't want to tweet just between 9 and 5 on Monday to Friday, and you do want to include personal stories about why your brand is important to you if you're going to talk about your corporate brand, or why your issue is important to you. And don't be afraid to have a purely personal tweet every now and then. People like to see that. Similarly, you want to make sure that you reply to @messages that are directed at you and that you reply to direct messages, just the same way that you wouldn't ignore an email or you wouldn't ignore a phone call. It's important to show that there is a person behind your account who is engaging with the people out there. That's the essence of social media, and that's the difference between the one-way communication of old websites. And last tiny tip, you always want to have more people following you, more followers, than people you're following. That's Best Practices Part 1.